All right, guiding the guide. That's the purpose of today. Never know where we'll really go, where it will lead us, who will show up. Point is practice. Yesterday, yes and our yes and projects. That is creating projects that are a yes and what's next. This is around leading as we go into Fridays as mastery, into mastery. Creating space, holding space, making space. In this space, there can always be tension. Tension that's either resistance or flowing. We all want flowing, but resistance is just good information that it tells us whether we're in the right direction, the right path. Can we have it? Is really what it comes down to in resistance. Where flow is you're in it, you got it, you are it already, you're doing it, you're being it. And we all would like more flow in our life. Who wants their life to flow? Flow with what? Peace. Flow with your power. Flow your passion. That is what creators do. That is what we're guiding as creators. Guiding genius. Guiding our genius. Pulling out, revealing, allowing the genius in all of us, our uniqueness, to be revealed, to come out, to be reborn into the space of now. See, society has told us that we can't be our genius. We have to tamp it down, put it under the rug, avoid it. How is that working? It's not. It's creating stress, anxiety, and fear. Fear about something that hasn't even happened. That is a pattern. Fear is a pattern of what hasn't happened, fearing it, worrying about it, rather than just creating and focusing on what it is we want. Now, that is a powerful creator, knows structure, listens to the tension, creates the tension, and holds space for tension. Holds space for other people's genius. Always ask, how do we do that? It's as easy as ABC. Aware you're being charged. That is, every moment we have a starting position. And when we're starting out, we're noticing where our charges are. What has us charged? Positive, negative are charges. And when you practice neutral, it's easier to choose your charge rather than responding to your charge. Our responding charges is what we've been taught. It's how we've survived, made sense of, and know what to do in the world. And if I told you that that doesn't matter anymore, what is your charge? And second is what you're being. So notice that charge. What does it have? What action does it have you be in? What does it feel like you want to do with positive charges? You want to flow towards them. You want more of them. You want to bring it in. And how about negative charges we want to avoid, we want to get away from? It's just information. It's when we take it personally. When we have expectations, it has to go a certain way. We're limiting what is possible in the space of our life. All we have is the moment of now. There's every moment of now. Because it is the future and it is the past. Everything, nothing, and something is available every moment of now. And your focus, our focus, my focus, creates that. So if I'm focused on fear, on worry, on anxiety of something that hasn't happened yet, what will you be living every moment of now? So if you solved all your problems, are you guaranteed to have what you want? If you solved all of your problems, would you be guaranteed to have what you want? If you got what you wanted, would that solve all your problems? See, the default is yes, it would. That is our conditioning. That is what we believe. In all reality, what we want is that feeling, that emotion. We want that state of being when we have that. Now, the problem with that says that I can't be that until I have it. That is what's been conditioned into our living, into our structure of life. And that is false. And that is a sad lesson and a powerful lesson when we are aware of that lesson. Because we can have that feeling, we can have the emotion anytime. And yes, there are moments that fear is appropriate, when anger is appropriate, when anxiety is appropriate, but only when it grips you is it inappropriate, is it not in your power. And when you are giving the attention or fueling it, feeding it, when it's unnecessary, is a pattern. And most of us live in a defaulted pattern of fear and stress, of lack. And just feel the charges of that in your life. Notice how much of lack do you feel in life? How often do you tell yourself you don't have enough? You're not good enough. You're lacking. Scarcity. Just feel it. Where do you feel that in your body? What is the name of it for you? What was your charge in the silence? How often do you feel this in your day? Is it what you really want to feel? For most of us, no. And you'll figure out all the ways that you'll try and fill it in to get things so that there's not a lack. There's not scarcity. That doesn't replace the emotion. It doesn't fill in the hole. It doesn't replace the emptiness, the aloneness, the fear, the limitations that we tell ourselves, we feel, and we walk around with like baggage all day long. Only when we realize that we are choosing that, we are creating that, can we change that. So when we're aware you're being charged, is that the charge you want? Now I say our right, what we're going for, is a positive charge, a charge of joy, a charge of happiness, a charge of abundance, a fullness, a wholeness, a completeness, confidence, joy, power, peace, and purpose. It's subtle, the difference between those two. Only when you're not practiced, when you're not skilled, when you're not aware to look at it. And that is the only way that we can move out of these patterns, out of the limitations, is by looking at and accepting that we are powerful, we are a creator, and we can create the emotion we want. And when you do that, when you go for what you want, it is 100% different. It is completely different. It's a 180. And all that you wanted, all that you were going for in the old identity becomes a reality. And as we learn from one another of how to live life, to structure our life so that we can have that feeling that we want, and then those things we begin to see out in the world, we begin to create, we go for, rather than avoiding them. So that is pulling out your genius. First, be aware you have one. Aware that we are all equal. Because happiness cannot be filled with judge, blame, or validation. You are not incomplete. In our genius, we are whole. We are loved and we belong. We are not alone in our geniuses, but we may hide them and we may hide behind it. But when we reveal it, pull it out, and allow it to nurture ourselves, nurture our well-being, go for our true nature, go for our creations, life has a whole new meaning. Life has a whole new view. And it is nothing like the old view. So aware you're being genius. Aware your genius is charged. Aware your charge is just telling you you're going in line. You are in alignment with your genius, or you're going away from it. It's just information. It's when we take it personal, we get attached to it, is when we become limited. So what charge do you want for the day? Put that word out in front of you and aim for it all day. Look for it all day and find it. Acknowledge and celebrate when you find it. And you'll condition yourself. You'll train yourself. You'll create new habits of how to be that now. And just imagine how life is different. So tell me what your genius is up to today. Till next time.